Welcome to Create a Travel Reservation. This training teaches students how to create travel reservations associated with a travel authorization request within the E-Gov Travel System. It contains only occasional references to travel regulations and policies. Knowledge of regulations and policies is crucial to proper development of travel authorizations, proper traveling, and proper creation and submission of travel claims, vouchers. You are encouraged to gain knowledge of the rules governing executive branch employee travel by studying the Federal Travel Regulation and the Department Travel Policy, and by completing other training. Please note that this training demonstrates one way to perform the task. There may be other shortcuts within the system that you will discover on your own. We have logged into the E-Gov Travel System and are currently on the home page. We begin by clicking the Travel tab, which is located within the main navigation. On the left side of the page, you will see the Travel Authorization section with its two options as well as the Cross-Funding Organization drop-down menu. For the Travel Authorization section, we will select the second option, Add Travel to an Existing Authorization, since we have already created an authorization. Regarding the Cross-Funding Organization drop-down menu, this field is used only if your trip is cross-funded and when reservations are created first and then a travel authorization is created. Crossing Funding Organization allows the user to select the organization in HHS that will fund the travel. If you're traveling on behalf of your home operating division or staff division, then just ignore this feature. In this example, our trip is not cross-funded, so we'll leave the drop-down as is. Upon clicking the radio button, its accompanying drop-down menu appears. Click the drop-down menu's arrow. Now we select the authorization associated with the reservation. If there are multiple authorizations, use either the TANM or the travel dates to identify the correct trip. Make sure you select the correct authorization from the drop-down menu. Upon selecting the authorization, the Searching for Location pop-up window opens automatically. Notice that the destination, Los Angeles, has pre-populated the field. The system automatically pre-fills based on the TDY location specified when the authorization was created. Click the Choose button to confirm the selection. Next, select the type of flight by clicking the appropriate tab. Round trip is the default option as this is the most popular choice. Round trip means you'll travel to a temporary duty location and then return. This ensures a return ticket is reserved. One way means you'll travel to the temporary duty location and you won't return. One way is used primarily with limited open authorizations. Open authorizations, or when an employee is relocating. Multi-city is used when you'll travel to multiple temporary duty locations over the course of a single trip. Selecting this option will allow you to reserve multiple methods of transportation. Care should be taken when using this on approved travel authorizations. Reserving multiple fares might exceed the number of airfare reservations listed on the travel authorization or the amount of funds set aside in the financial management system for airfare. We are flying round trip, so we will remain on the default tab. Earlier, we entered the destination city and the temporary duty location section. Now, we need to specify the exact location beyond just the city. Search by either agency location or reference point. The radio button labeled Agency Location allows users to select pre-populated government offices. Reference point is the default option. Use this option to search based on a street, city, or zip code. It is recommended that you use reference point because it's the more flexible option. The data you enter for agency location or reference point determine the daily per diem amounts for your trip. It is recommended that you select reference point and enter the full address of your work location. This ensures that the correct per diem rates are applied to your trip. Entering your work address is particularly important when traveling to a city that encompasses multiple per diem locations, such as Los Angeles. Now click the Search button to confirm. The Search by Location pop-up window opens, displaying the entered address. This field sets the per diem rates for your lodging and M&IE expenses. Whenever available, employees must secure lodging in the same TDY location where they will be performing their official work. In the case that no lodging is available within the same TDY location, this field can be edited to match the location where lodging is secured. To confirm, click the Choose button. The field labeled TDY per diem location tells the travel management system how to calculate travel allowances according to predetermined tables. Each year, per diem rates are set by the General Services Administration, the State Department, and the Department of Defense. There might be multiple per diem locations within a geographic area, sometimes even within the same county or city. By using the reference point radio button and entering an address, the travel system will align the address to the per diem location. You'll be able to select the one that's appropriate for where you'll work. It's also useful for when you must obtain lodging in one area while working at a different location. Next, we will complete the from field as well as the to field. For both fields, you have a choice of 3 options to complete them. First, you can start typing the name of an airport, airport code, city, or train station in the field provided. Matching results will appear below in a drop-down menu. Select the desired choice. The second option is clicking the Find an Airport link to search for the closest airport to your TDY location. Finally, you can click the Select Multiple Airports link. Note, it is recommended that employees select multiple airports when applicable, so that multiple fares may be compared. In this example, we will use the first method. To set the date and time of departure, begin by clicking the calendar icon to select the date. Then determine the time, either the desired time of departure or the time of arrival. Select the time in the next field. Finally, the last drop-down menu allows you to expand the search parameters plus or minus a certain number of hours before or after the time you selected. For example, if your desired time is 3 p.m., but your schedule allows the flexibility of a 1 p.m. or 5 p.m. flight, you can select plus or minus 2. Once completed, repeat the previous steps to complete the date and time for the return flight. As you can see, we've selected April 1st as our departure date for 3 p.m., plus or minus 2 hours. That means when we run our search, the system will look for all departing flights from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. We have set our return flight for April 4th with an arrival time of 9 a.m., plus or minus 1 hour. That means our search results will include all arrival flights on April 4th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. The ability to include a search for a rental car and/or a hotel from the main travel page serves as a shortcut. Need to reserve a rental car for the trip? If yes, click the Pickup/Drop-Off Car at Airport checkbox. If not, leave the checkbox blank. To include a search for a hotel, click the Find a Hotel checkbox. Upon doing so, search options will appear. Use the desired search option to find nearby hotels to your work location. By default, the system will search for a hotel near the destination you entered in the temporary duty location field. Finally, select an option from the Class drop-down menu as well as Search by drop-down menu. Class allows you to select the form of seating for the flight. As a rule, employees are required to select economy class seating unless they have been expressly allowed to use a higher class of seating such as business class or first class. Employees must meet the federal travel regulations express exceptions to use any form of seating other than coach class. Coach class is the same as economy class. If you use a form of seating other than coach or economy class and you don't meet the express exceptions, then you'll be personally liable for any costs greater than the lowest price city pair program economy class fare. Therefore, we will use the default option, economy class. Now we can click the search button to find results based on the parameters we have set in the above fields. We are now on the search results main page. Let's take a quick tour of some of its features. On the left side of the screen you'll see a trip summary based on your previous entries. At the bottom, left corner, you'll see sliders and display settings that you can use to adjust your search parameters. You can adjust and repeat searches as often as you like. On the right side of the screen, you'll see the airlines offering flights based on your search criteria. This includes city pair program fares and non-contract fares, including non-refundable fares. The system also displays the lowest fares and how many. Pay attention to these fares because these are likely the ones you're required to use. Note, by default, the system will order results by compliance with policy. Be on the lookout for flights displaying the label, Government Fares Available. Remember, you must use the lowest price city pair program fare if one is available. Just because the system displays an option, that does not mean you have the discretion to select it. If you don't select an appropriate price option, your approving official will select one for you or decline your travel request. If declined, you will have to choose a different option, one that is compliant. Note, when you see DG or discount government, keep in mind these are not compliant city pairs program fares. When an airline is not awarded a city pair program contract route, an airline will match the city pair price and make it appear as though it's a contract fare using the discount government moniker. DG fares do not have the same benefits as city pair program fares, and using them undermines the government's ability to collectively negotiate lower price fares. Their use causes prices to increase. The sticker price of these fares might appear to save money, but their use actually causes higher fare prices in the long term. Now let's take a look at some of the fares available for this trip. To view our fares, we scroll down the page and click the blue View Fares button adjacent the desired trip. The View Fares section expands. Click the Fare Details link. Confirm that the 3-character fare code ends with the letters CA. That is the code designated for city pair fares. The city pair program contract includes an unrestricted, guaranteed fare, which is always available to government employees, even if it is the last seat on the plane. These fares are represented by the YCA fare code. Additionally, airlines offer a limited number of government contract discounted fares, which you should select when available. City pair program fares are always refundable, as you can see in the refundable column, in case you need to cancel or change your flight later. Also, the system uses icons to represent whether a travel option is compliant with policy. The green circle with a checkmark means that the option is compliant with policy and can be selected without providing additional justification. The yellow triangle with an exclamation point means that the option is a lesser policy violation, meaning that it could be selected if nothing else were available, but doing so would require justification. Of course, being a prudent traveler, you should compare available fares, considering other factors such as travel departure and arrival times, layovers, and the cost of traveling to and from the airports. Select the lowest price option that will meet your travel needs. Finally, take note of the airline's policy regarding free checked bags. In this case, the fare does not include any free checked bags, so if we needed to check a bag for this trip, we would need to add that as an additional expense in the authorization. Click the Flight Details link to view further flight information, including flight number, type of plane, and available seats. Once you have decided on a fare, click its corresponding button. Here, we can review the details of our trip as we scroll down the page. Further down, we can review our traveler information, including any frequent flyer information if applicable. Near the bottom of the page, we can select our seating assignment, if available. Not all airlines allow you to choose your own seat. If you cannot or do not choose your own seat, the TMC will select a seat based on the seating preferences saved in your ETS profile. If seat selection is available, note that if you select a paid preferential seat, you will be personally liable for the difference in price. In other words, you can upgrade, but you will pay out of pocket. Select a method of payment from the drop-down menu. In most cases, the payment method should be your IBA travel charge card. It is also important to confirm you have selected the correct method of payment, because this cannot be changed afterward without canceling and rebooking your reservation or calling the travel management company. We are ready to run our search for flights. Click the Reserve Flight and Continue button. We are on the hotel search results main page. As with the flight search, there is a trip summary on the left side. As we scroll down, you can see there are various filters on the left side to narrow search results if you desire. Note, if you had included a search for a rental car, those results would appear now, organized in a similar way as flights. Be aware that unlike transit, buses, and taxis, rental cars are not the method of transportation presumed to be most advantageous to the government, so your request for a rental car might not be approved. If approved, always reserve the lowest rate available. Selecting any class other than economy or compact will require you to justify your need for a larger vehicle. Under the DTMO U.S. Government Rental Car Program Agreement, you are responsible for refueling the vehicle before returning it. To learn more, visit the HHS Learning Management System. Back to the hotels, below the map we see the lodging per diem for your TDY location. This amount sets the maximum nightly rate you can be reimbursed for. In most cases, there will be several hotel rooms available at or even below this rate. If there are no rooms available at or below your work location's per diem rate, you can do one of two things. First, expand your search to nearby areas, where a room may be available at the per diem rate. If this places your lodging in a location with a different per diem rate, be sure to change the TDY location as listed in your travel authorization. Second, you can request actual expense authority for per diem. which will allow you to be authorized and reimbursed for lodging costing up to 300% of the location's per diem rate. In this example, we can be reimbursed up to 3 times $182, or $546 a night. Actual expense authority should be requested only for those days or nights when absolutely necessary. Hotel rooms matching your previously entered search parameters appear in the center of the page. Click the View Rooms button to see available rooms and their prices. Employees must select a Fed rooms rate whenever available, which are denoted by a green checkmark. Conversely, rates denoted with a yellow warning symbol are policy violations and should be avoided whenever possible. Click the link and verify the hotel's rules and cancellation policies, extra fees including resort fees, and other information. Fed rooms hotels usually charge no fees if reservations are canceled before 4 p.m. on the day of arrival. When ready, click the appropriate blue button to select a hotel room. As with the flight, a review page for the hotel booking appears, including details of your reservation. As we scroll down, we can view hotel guest information and hotel preferences, including a field to enter comments directed to the hotel. Near the bottom of the page, we enter payment information. As a reminder, the payment method should always be your IBA travel charge card. Remember that you are liable for any cancellation charges if you choose a non-Fed rooms compliant room and your trip is canceled. Take a moment to review the Terms and Conditions panel. Scroll down to read its entire contents. Then, click the I agree checkbox. Now click the Reserve Hotel and Continue button. Here, we can review our complete trip details. Furthermore, on the right side of the page, we can reserve a rental car, train, or another hotel by clicking their respective icons. You can also change or cancel your current reservations by clicking the blue links on the right side of this page. Now, we click the Next button. Edit the trip booking information page as necessary. Ensure that the type code, trip purpose, and document detail fields are completed. For trip purpose, you'll most likely select Mission Operational. Note, be sure to leave the comments for the travel agent text field blank, as any comments will incur an additional DMC fee. Now, click the Next button. On the trip confirmation page, we have another chance to review details for the entire trip, flights, and hotel. Click the Confirm Booking button. A confirmation email will be sent to you. Check your inbox and junk folder for its arrival. On the View Associated Authorizations page, we can, among other things, view our expenses, including M&IE and lodging. Further down the page, we can attach PDF and image files, including conference invitations, email correspondence, etc. Click the orange, Sign Document button in the upper right section of the page. Review the information and then click the Continue button. Note the Auditing and Compliance section at the bottom of the page. If there are issues, they will be listed here. Enter an explanation in the justification text box for any issues before clicking the Continue button. Note, as with all text fields, any comments may contain letters and numbers, but do not enter special characters. Confirm that the status to apply is set to Signed. If necessary, enter any notes in the comments text field. Then, click the Save and Continue button. Here we can see the routing process, including the chain of approvers who will approve or reject your travel plans. Note, some organizations utilize dynamic routing, which allows the employee to select who will review, approve, and/or certify their voucher claims. This setting might not be active within your agency. Regardless, click the Sign Document button. Congratulations! You have created a travel reservation and submitted your authorization request for approval. This concludes the tutorial. Thank you for watching.